Hey guys, I'm Deepthi Desikan and today's video I'm going to be talking about products that I've stopped buying. Today's video will discuss the products that I haven't bought in over a year or more, and I feel like I don't get use out of this and I feel like it's kind of like a redundant purchase. So let's get started. So firstly, I've stopped buying sort of like liquid cream blushes. Okay, not the ones that come in like a stick form. I still do really like those kind of blushes because it's easy for me, but something that comes in like a liquid form, which comes in like a bottle that I have to take and apply, or something that I have to, like, it's very runny for me. I feel like I don't really get that much use out of it. I feel like it's very inconvenient for me, and in a rush I usually tend to take more product or and then struggle to blend it and struggle to get a decent look out of it. So I feel like I'm that person who I can use powder blushes really well. I can, even if I go overboard, I know how to handle it really well, and I can also use my lipstick as blushes all the time. That's what I do most of the times. I have some things right here, which is my Maybelline lipstick in the shade Toasted Brown. I always get this name wrong. So this is how much I've used this up, and it gives you the most natural creamy looking finish. So this one, I feel like it just helps me so much in getting my look all put together. It goes with most looks, and sometimes, you know, if I have the same lipstick on my lips and I can pair it up and match my blush to that as well. And so I feel like, you know, liquid blushes in general don't make much sense to me, and buying even cream blushes for that matter, if it is something that is very different, then I would think about it. So all of these products, there is an exception, that if there's something that is revolutionary, something that really caught my attention, something that blows my mind away, I will still try it. But so far, in over a year or more, I haven't bought any liquid blushes because I just do not see myself reaching for it, and I've just gravitated a lot away from that kind of product. So the next one I'm going to be talking about, I've written it right down here. Okay, that's why I'm looking at it right here. So the next one is setting sprays. I feel like most setting sprays do the exact same thing, and I have so many setting sprays at this point. I have about like 15 to 20 setting sprays that I cannot differentiate the finish that one gives from over the other. There are very few setting sprays that I feel like do a world of a difference to my look, and make me feel like, okay, this is really special in terms of the finish it's going to give on my skin. But mostly everything is the same, even the affordable ones and the expensive ones, like the Pixie Glow Mist. That is a little bit different. I think I have mentioned it in a video where I could not dupe that kind of a product. I will link it right here. So that is sort of a unique product, but apart from that, most setting sprays are very similar. And what I look for in a setting spray is the nozzle. If the nozzle is really nice and if it's able to spritz the product really well on your face, it doesn't really matter what brand it is, what's the price point, it's almost always the same thing. So I think that I don't really need any more setting sprays, of course, because I'm doing this as a job. If I'm doing like a one brand tutorial, or if there's something that is really affordable that a lot of people really like and want me to try out, I will still try all these out. But I don't find the need to buy any more setting sprays in my collection. I have got some in PR, I have purchased some for a video, but apart from that, just because I needed something, I've never bought a setting spray in way over a year. Like, it's been 2 years, I can say I've never bought a setting spray. The last setting spray I got was the Swiss Beauty one, which again is very similar to so many other setting sprays that I have, and that is so affordable. For 250 rupees, it does the job. I bought that for a video particularly, and I was like, look, I have this one and I have all of these other setting sprays. What is the difference between the two? There are some highlighting mists which have a little bit of shimmer particles to it. Then there's the glowy mist. So apart from that, there's not much of a difference between any of the other setting sprays, in my opinion. Okay. And then something that I've stopped buying again are face compacts. I am not a compact person. I don't really use it on a daily basis. I used to think that it is very, very important. It's very vital for my everyday makeup routine. But over time, I feel like my skin just doesn't need it. And when you don't really need it, I don't find the point in going out and buying that. So until and unless it's like a powder foundation, which can give you a very good coverage, just normal compact powders again just don't make any sense to me, because I have so many of them and everything is the same. It's just about getting your right shade match and finding the right formula for your skin. So if you have that one particular compact that matches your skin, or even a loose powder for that matter, if there's one thing that works for you, I don't find the need in buying multiple of the same, because any kind of like banana powder, loose powders, they all work the same. Loose powders still I do purchase here and there just to try it out. And then I've written down here sheet mask, peel off mask. Sheet mask, ever since I got it, okay, that is the first time I got it, was the okay, did I leave any patch on my face? My nose is sweating. It's hot. It's hot in here. It's like super hot. Can't do anything. So ever since I got this first sheet mask, that was from Face Shop, like on buy 3 get 3 or buy 5 get 5, I was really excited because that was an offer that I've never seen before, and it was a product that I've never tried before. So when I got it, ever since I got it, the first time I got it, I was like, what is the point even, and what is the use of this? I don't really see any difference on my skin, at least in the long run. It is for like that like indulge moment where that particular time your skin feels like it's working better, but what is the use of it in the long run? And it's just one use kind of a product, which again you just get just one use out of it. It's not something that is environment friendly. So sheet masks I just do not prefer, I don't reach out for, and I haven't bought myself a sheet mask until and unless some it's a free product, like even if I don't want it, it just comes as a free product because the brand is trying to push it to you. So the last sheet mask I got was in 2019. I think Nykaa used to put their sheet mask as a free product every time you purchase from Nykaa Cosmetics. So that was the only product I received. I've not opened it, I've not used it. I don't know what to do with it, because I don't want to throw it away, because again, like I mentioned, it's bad. I don't know what else to do with that product. And then the same thing goes for peel off masks. I was in this opinion that peel off masks might be very good for my skin, and like if I have like blackheads, it might peel it off. So I think I invested in just one peel off mask that is from the brand called Jovi's, and their charcoal peel off mask. I just found it to be a little bit too harsh and painful for my skin, and I decided that I'm not going to invest in any other peel off masks as such, because I don't feel like they're doing anything for my skin. If at all I needed any mask, I would probably use like an AHA BHA peel, which I think is more effective, and a mask if I wanted to use for an indulge moment, I would use something a little bit more calming, or something like the like an exfoliating sleeping mask, which again would do a little bit of exfoliation on days where I've never exfoliated my skin at all. So peel off mask, again, I'm not a very big fan of. I find it to be painful, unnecessary, and not so good for my skin as well. And then something that I haven't bought in a long time, and you guys will be really surprised with this, I know you will be, are red lipsticks. How many of you guys know my obsession with red lipsticks? How many of you guys know that I own a lot of red lipsticks, and in any brand if I buy something, I always pick out a red lipstick. But I haven't bought myself a red lipstick in a long time, until and unless it's PR, okay? This I have no control over. But other than that, like myself, like purchasing a red lipstick, it's been a while. And the reason is because I just have a lot of red lipsticks, and it's just that I have gotten to a point where I got bored of red lipsticks, and I diverted towards pink and nudes like this, which are more wearable nude shades for my skin tone. And so I decided that for a while, maybe until something revolutionary, something very different, I do not want to buy a red lipstick for myself again, until unless I feel like, okay, this is a little bit unique, let me get it. So it's been a while, and I don't know if you guys will believe me for this, but yes, I haven't got myself a red lipstick in a while. So next one is mauve toned eyeshadow palettes. Okay, I hope I have something to show you, like a demo. Let me see. My table is filled with products from previous filming and everything. I'm trying to look at a color scheme that I can show you guys. Okay, somewhat like this, okay? And the Makeup Revolution neutrals too. Okay, this is not so much of a mauve toned palette, but if you can relate with this one, the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air, the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions palette, the PAC Mauve shadow box. I feel like I don't really need any more mauve eyeshadow palettes in my collection because I don't really like it that much on myself. Like the look that I can get with that is not my favorite. So I like something a little bit more warm tone, something like what I have on my eyes today. I feel like it just blends in with most outfits. It looks more put together and you could play around with your outfits, especially when I'm sitting down to film. I want to be comfortable with the outfits that I'm wearing as well. And so these mauve toned looks sometimes clashes with the outfit, clashes with lipstick. And if I'm wearing it out as well, I have to put in a lot of thought when I'm wearing those. I know this might be like, oh, it's just mauve toned eyeshadow palette, but for me it's very important for the look to look cohesive and to go hand in hand. And I just feel like once you blend them all out and everything, most of them look just the same, irrespective of whatever eyeshadow palette you have, like the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions and the Pack Mauve Obsessions and the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air. When you apply it, they all look just the same. There's not much I can do with it. But if it was more warm toned, I think I get more use out of it. With that being said, not that I want to buy more warm toned eyeshadow palette, but I want an eyeshadow palette which has pretty much a blend of colors, something that stands out, something that is a little bit different. So even though the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette looks like, okay, just another like warm toned eyeshadow palette, it has everything you would need. It has a little bit of rose gold shades, it has your gold, it has this kind of like that, greenish yellow shade that looks really nice on the eyelid. It's something that makes your eye look a little bit more different. So those are some things that I have stopped buying. And also I have stopped buying like very small eyeshadow palettes, like just 4 shades, and like the elf what is that called, the elf eyeshadow palette, the one that they recently launched. I will leave a picture right here, something like that. Again, if I don't really have a lot of color options to choose from, I don't think that I could gravitate towards that kind of an eyeshadow palette, because any like 4 shade eyeshadow palette I've never reached out for, because I feel like they eventually lack something, like maybe a deeper transition shade that I was looking for, maybe a more deep brown shade for my outer corners, something of that sort. It does lack, and so I have refrained from buying those kind of palettes because I don't get use out of it. Now this might vary, okay, all of this I'm mentioning might vary from person to person. It doesn't really have to be the same opinion for you. You don't really have to stop buying this, but it's just my opinion. I want to let you guys know, and I want to update you guys in case you're with me on this and you just needed a reminder that you don't really need another similar kind of eyeshadow palette, then this is for you. So that is something that I think I have stopped buying. Mauve tone eyeshadow palettes, small eyeshadow palettes, not my thing. And then another thing that I have refrained from buying is highlighters. There are so many highlighters out there, okay? Most of them have a similar formula. Most of them have a similar tone shift. And on the skin, all highlighters, irrespective of what undertone they have, shade shift they have, they look almost the same. So it's been a while. It's been a really long time, I think, since I've bought a highlighter for myself. The last highlighter that I ever purchased, which was after a really long time, was the Swiss Beauty Fusion highlighter, the smaller one. But even that I got because the formula is a little bit different and I just really liked the price point of it and I wanted to include it in a video. But apart from that, and that purchase was made in January after like over a year of not buying highlighters at all, because I just, again, I'm on that place where I feel like I don't really need any more highlighters in my collection. I feel like I have everything I needed, and most highlighters look the same. So when I'm actually trying to find dupes for certain highlighters and I'm swatching, everything almost looks the same. Like, yeah, when you swatch it on your arm, you can see a tone shift, you can see a shade shift. When you apply it on your face, it's again looking the same. So if you are a makeup collector, then and it's like your passion and you really like owning it, then it's completely fine. Like, there was a point where even I wanted to own a lot of highlighters and I wanted to like see what is different, what everything is doing, and what the hype is all about. And so that's the reason I bought so many of this, and then eventually resorted to this idea that most of it just looks the same. Either some are a little bit more subtle, I mean the formula is different, some are more subtle, some are a little bit really too shimmery, a little bit too bling. So in that perspective, I'm able to differentiate between highlighters. So now I'm just trying to reach out for just those subtle ones, and have put a rest to all the other highlighters and I haven't used that in a long time. And my favorite highlighter and something that I always reach out for is the sugar cream highlighter, and I feel like it just does the job for me. Something that is like this is what I reach out for, and of late I've been loving the Swiss Beauty Fusion highlighter. But apart from that, all the highlighters in my collection have been put to a good rest, and I think they've been sleeping. I do keep them because I need it for reference. I always try to film different kind of videos. I try to include different products into different videos. I have to come up with recommendations, keeping in mind that this is what I do. So if I was not a YouTuber, like I mentioned in one of the videos, my highlighter collection would be very limited. And then the next one I've written right here is face palettes. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Sugar Face palette. Like, I have it right here. I always have it when I'm filming my videos. So this is the Contour Day Force face palette in the shade 02. The reason I really like this is because it has a bronzer, it has a highlighter, it has a blush. So this palette works really well for me. All the product in this I can use. It works really well. So I always use the bronzer, I use the highlighter, I use the blush. So this way I get use out of this. But I do not like buying just a highlighter palette. Even Sugar has just like that highlighter palette that all three are highlighters. So I have the NYX Strobe Genius highlighter palette. I have the Makeup Revolution So Fix highlighter palette. I have the Makeup Revolution Pro Illuminate highlighter palette. It's very rare that I tend to reach out for that anymore, because not all the highlighting shades would work for you. If you are a makeup artist, it absolutely makes sense in investing those kind of things, because you're working on different skin tones, you're working on different texture of skin, right? So some highlighters even in a palette have different textures, so it would work for you. But for me, I just feel like it's of not much of a use. And it's again been a while since I've bought any highlighter palette or even like a contour palette. I used to love the BH Cosmetics contour palette. That used to be my favorite contour palette, but even in that there are only so many shades I can use. The rest I can use as eyeshadows, but not so much on my face, because I just have one face, one skin tone. Yeah, I do tan a little bit, I do maybe lighten a little bit, but not so much of a difference where I would need like really dark contour bronzing shades on my skin tone. So I find it better to invest in single products like this, like the Hoola bronzer and something that works for my skin. So just that one product would suffice me, because I'm not a makeup artist and I'm just using this just on myself. And then the last one is nail paints. So I had this addiction with nail paints, where at one point of time there used to be a nail paint always in my cart. I used to always try to buy more nail paints. I used to always try to have different shades, different colors and everything. But I've reached that point where I think I have everything I needed, and not so many formulas have been impressing me in terms of nail paints. So the recent last nail paint that I ever got myself was from H&M, and I think I got that last year. So after that, even from H&M, I didn't buy anything, because that is for 399 rupees, which I found it to be a little bit pricey, 299 or 399. So I never reached out for it as well, like to buy a new one. So I have two shades which I'm very happy with. I'm really loving that formula, and that's all I use. And so I have nail paints from my collection that are pretty old that I want to use up, and I want to try to use up as much as I can. So I'm not in the mindset or like space to buy any more nail paints. I think I'm done. I have every shade that I need, and there's only so many shades that I even reach out for so much. There are shades that have just been put to rest and I don't really reach out for as well. So these are the kind of shades that I always like. So this one is the L'Oreal nail paint in the shade Vert Absinthe something. So I will leave this link in the description box, like what is on my nails. But apart from that, I just don't really buy anymore. So there was this one point of time where Sally Hansen nail paints used to go on sale, like flat 50% off, and I used to get really excited and pick that up. OPI used to go on sale, and then I decided that okay, I'm not even using all of this, and I don't even paint my nails regularly. If like I like to wear it when I'm having some occasion, or and I'm going out, or like when I'm filming videos. But apart from that, it's a little bit of a hassle for me, because when they chip, it gets to me. Like I get annoyed when nail paints chip, and yeah. So with all that big explanation, my point is I haven't bought myself one in a really long time. Nail paint remover, however, I do need it. I use a lot of that because I'm always constantly applying. I need to change the colors, I need to remove it. But nail paints on its own, not bought. in a long time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That completes this video. So if you are someone who still enjoys these products, by all means put your money where you think is worth it. Get whatever makes you happy, use whatever makes you happy. But I feel like, you know, my preferences have changed. So yeah, do let me know if you have stopped purchasing some product because you feel like it's of no use for you anymore, or you don't really even need it that much. Let me know. I would be really intrigued to read those in the comments. Also, while you are commenting, when you're scrolling down, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Remember to wash your hands. Remember to wash your hands. Every time you've been around playing with friends, remember to wash your hands.